I welcome you all to OT Vibes TV. It is your boy Imana, aka Kwame Africa, and as we always do, I'm here at Cementia Farms. You understand? I'm here with Mr. Fred. You understand? You know, the CEO of Cementia Farms. You know, I'm very happy, to have him on my channel. He's very scarce. You understand? So having him here today is like having the president of the state here this very moment. You understand? And it's going to be very wow, so stay tuned to the channel. And I'm very happy to see this wonderful man, because he's taking the agri business in Ghana to a level, and I think he's a source of motivation to most of us. You understand, Mr. Fred?
Yes.
Good morning.
Morning.
It's such a wonderful day for me to meet you, because I've been hunting for you for a couple of months now. And I think today, God really opened the heavens for me to meet you. Good. I have a whole lot of questions to ask you, because when I go to the farm, it's always an advantage to seek from where you want to be.
Yeah.
And I'm very, very motivated by what you are doing here. In short, I just want my viewers, many might know you, but I want my viewers who are new to you to get to know who you are, where you come from, and how everything started here.
So as most of you probably know, my name is Fred, and I'm from Burkum here. So this is the village where I grew up. And I had the opportunity, like most of us, to go to school and then study in London, in the US, and came back. But what started this farm was I built a school in my village, and I realized that the school needed a school farm to be able to feed the school.
Really?
So that's how this whole farm thing started. So I started with the poultry and with the cattle to basically feed the school, and then I saw the opportunity and the untapped business that exists in the agriculture business.
Really?
Yeah. So I decided, you know what, let me explore this and try and see if I can sort of explore the potential in agriculture, because we all know that agriculture is the backbone. Agriculture
of
is
every healthy economy.
We just say it without even doing it.
Exactly.
So so I decided to try and explore it from the business side and a more modernized way.
A more modernized way.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. All right. So we are very, very motivated, you understand. You are doing agri in a modernized way. And I can see story building of your your cattle herds.
The good plan.
It's a very good plan. All right, so how did you acquire the land? Because I can see, how many acres are these?
Oh, this is small. This is 5 acres.
5 acres.
Yeah, and then we have 11 acres here. Then we have about 130 acres as well that we just use to grow feed for the livestock. So the hay that you saw, we don't grow it here. We have a feed lot. That's where we grow everything, harvest, bale, and then we bring it here. So here is not, we don't have any food here, just small one for the cattle to raise. Yeah.
Was it that easy for you to acquire the land here? Wow, is it because you are from here?
Not really. I mean, I acquired this land a long time ago. I've always been, because
why I'm asking this, agriculture with land is sometimes a problem. One of the problems most young agriculture, young farmers face is the acquisition of lands. And when I talk to farmers and they tell me I owe about 100 acres of farm, like how do you manage to do that? Yeah,
so there's two problems. Are you talking about the accessibility, or are you talking about the cost?
I'm talking about the cost.
Yeah, so cost is, you need to be prepared. Like, agriculture is not cheap.
Okay.
Right, so it's just like if you want to build real estate, people are still building houses, right? They buy land and then they invest a lot of money, depending on where you are, to actually build a house. So I don't think agriculture needs to be treated like, it's nothing. It should be treated like any other business where it takes capital to do.
Exactly.
And therefore, if you're a young person and you're trying to go into it, you need to save, you need to plan better, right, to be able to go into it.
So my channel is purposely, to eradicate the mentality we have that agriculture in those days was a punishment. Especially when you go to school, you offend, they just measure, some distance for you to read. So we grew up with a mentality that, agriculture is a punishment.
Yeah.
But it was just recently we got to realize, you know, by the grace of, you are a source of motivation to personally me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And others, you know, we see on YouTube.
Yeah.
You know, we got to realize, you know, it's a business, a very big time business.
Yeah.
If you dedicate and you know, give your time to it.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to know,
Yeah.
like, when did you realize this? Because not everybody have the mentality you got.
Yeah.
How did you? When was the time you realized that? Oh, okay, Charlie, agriculture. You know, we know it's a business and not a punishment.
Yeah.
And even if you knew this long ago, you can also share your experiences with us.
Yeah.
You know, and just motivate us. You understand?
No, we all felt that way. I mean,
at the time.
Yeah. There's a reason why we didn't follow our parents and we went to school. It's because we're trying to get out of what they are doing.
Exactly.
You know? So I grew up here, as I said, and I walk, you know, every Saturday like 2-3 hours to farm. Early morning, 4 o'clock, you'll be waking up from bed to go. You know, after school, you have to go and meet your mom and, you know, carry firewood. So that exists, you know, and most of your viewers and our viewers have seen that and lived through that, you know, and that's the reason why we went to school, to be able to get, quote unquote, a better job, you know, out of that.
Exactly.
Dude, chill. You know, to get a better job. But to me, it was more around the problem solving. So, you know, maybe if it hadn't been the school, I wouldn't have thought of it like that. But it was like, I have a problem at my school. How do I solve it? And I actually went to Domas, you know, in Domas. Yeah. So I realized that at school we had cows. You know, we'll see the cows moving, and on Sunday when we do jollof and beef, they will say the beef is coming from the school farm. So right away I was like, you know what, I want to do a school farm. So it was more of feeding the school. But then as I go into it, and I was like, if a cow is sold at, you know, 5,000, 6,000, 8,000, what is it actually taking to get that cow to that level? What is the cost involved? So I started becoming very curious, and then went to the US, visited some ranches, and started doing more research. You know, went to Mexico again, and I saw that, okay, these guys, I went to a farm that actually had 70,000 cows, and every second I'm there, a cow is giving birth.
Really?
And I was like, how is this possible? 70,000. They have like this machine you see here. That's what they used to fetch their food. They'll put it in the anyaka, the tipper truck. And then the tipper truck will drive in between, dispersing the food. It wasn't it. So I was like, how did these people get here? You know, but as I speak to, and I was given the tour by a young guy who was, I think, 17, driving a huge pickup.
Really?
And he was telling me he's like the 12th or 13th generation of farmer on this farm. And I was like, how? And he's like, yeah, my great-great-grandfathers, we didn't even have water. They had to dig with mattock from Arizona to California to bring water. So what I learned was, yes, it's not too late for Ghana, because, but we need to continue. It needs to be a generation.
Exactly. We must start somewhere.
See, and that's why he's here, because it's a generational thing, right? Like, and he's causing trouble.
Exactly.
Guys, forgive me. Today is Father's Day, so I got to keep
exactly.
So basically, that was my inspiration, right? So I was like, I need to start so that even if I don't succeed, somebody can come and continue. But we have to start doing it the right way. To be able to scale.
All right.
There are lots of peasant farmers, small scale farmers, right? But if we can build on that and expand that to make it commercial, then we can really see the business side of farming.
All right.
So we have to start thinking, how do we get commercial?
All right.
So to me, in order to get commercial, one of the things that I found was source of feed.
Okay.
The reason why people cannot scale their cow and goats to that number is because they don't have the source of feed.
Okay.
So that was another, I guess, assignment to myself, to go and look for feed that is sustainable.
All right.
Right. So luck and behold, in Brazil, I found actually a seed that I can come here and plant.
Really?
And grow as hay. Once you have that amount of feed, then you have no limit to how many goats or cows you can have.
Okay.
So right now, like as I said, I have about 130 acres of feed. And that means that now I can have 10,000 goats here.
Really?
And I won't worry about feed. Right? So to me, that's sort of the breaking point. But of course, we need to now put in other efforts like medication, so on, infrastructure to be able to scale that commercially. Right, so there's a lot to do.
There's a lot to do here. You know, from the way you're talking now, I think that there is a lot Charlie, we have to do. But a journey of 1,000 miles, as we always say, it begins with a step. Exactly. So I think we can start from somewhere, and definitely we will get somewhere. And I think we would have people to also, you know, pick it up from where we ended.
Exactly.
You know, that's one problem mostly Africans we face. We just want to start everything and end everything ourselves. But there are situations we can start for somebody to come continue. All right, Mr. Fred, there is, you know, as we were talking, you went to the diaspora, you studied certain things there, you knew how things were working. You know, is there a secret they know we don't know when it comes to farming?
So I don't think it's a secret. I think there's a couple of things that I can think of. I mentioned one when I was speaking, which is the generational farmers. Okay. Right. So my great-great-great-grandfather was a farmer. Okay. I have no doubt. Okay. My great-grandfather was a farmer. My grandfather was a farmer. My mom was a farmer. They have learned something over those decades. Okay. And where is that knowledge? They took us to school, so there's no continuity. So we're not building. My mom could tell you that it's going to rain, it's not going to rain. You know, this year, this is how the harvest is going to be. It's going to be, He has this informal knowledge that exists in her head, and she's going to take it to her grave with it. That's the do. So we are not continuing like the skills and the knowledge that we are accruing in agriculture, which is bad. Which is very bad. Second, the support, the infrastructural support that doesn't exist. Okay. So I'm doing livestock here. Yes, I've cracked the feed. Now I can scale. Okay. The medication that the livestock need, they don't. As I'm talking to you now, I'm getting ready to go to South Africa just to go and buy medicines. Yes. Why is it not in Ghana? It's not in Ghana. Why? Exactly. That's what I mean by the infrastructure that we need. Who is doing it? Who is actually doing goat as a commercial farm to create the demand for those medicines? It's not. Right? So you're looking at feeding. You can't feed animals just with protein. You can't feed them only with fiber. So you need potassium, you need copper, you need iron. Where are you getting those feed? I have to go to, you know, Australia to bring that. I have to go to US. So anything you need to cater for them, you have to travel for it. Yes. And this is going to discourage most of the farmers. Exactly the point. So when you tell me why there's a secret, it's not a secret. It's more of the infrastructure and the support that exists. Let me go even another step further into labor. Okay. Like we have a lot of graduates that finish school, maybe about in a year in the agri sector alone, about maybe 4,000 people. All of these guys wants to work at the office. You know, I would have come there. You know, mostly that's the kind of you know, conclusion I want my, you know, farmers I talk to you know, voice it out to the youth and let them know that the white collar job, they'd have to now leave the office, come to the farm. You know, is agri profitable? I think it is profitable. I mean, like any other business, it is capital intensive. But then if you do it well, right, you will. Like you would have a proper cash out. Exactly. Like I can basically give you a basic math, which is when it comes to even goat farming. I'm very interested. So you start with 2 goats. They give birth twice a year. On an average, you get 2 goats. 2 goats, Right. So that means that at the end of the year, you're getting 6 goats. 6 goats, Right, so with that 6 goat, that means you started with 2, you're making 6. It's just like me telling you that you start with 200 CDs, and at the end of the year, you have 600 CDs. Right, so to me, that is it. And then you look at what is your operational cost. Really, if you're starting with 2 goats, right, let's say 2 out of your profit is going to go into operations. Yes. That means that 4 becomes your profit. And that's how I think of it, right? Depending on how, you know, depending on how you also, what is enough for you, right? So maybe 2 goats, you'll be like, oh, how much is 2 goats? I want to do 10. You know, your capital will tell you, you know, how you go. But in all, what I'm trying to also do here is value addition. So now you look at our, you know, West African dwarf goats, and they're being sold for like depending on where you are, but in the deep village, you might get it at $50.
$50.
Right.
Is it the African dwarf?
The African dwarf.
African dwarf.
Right.
Okay.
So even if you do a conversion of, you know,
let's say 550. So let's take the dollar rate to be less 11.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. So you're getting 550. Mostly 700, 800, but let's say even $50.
Yeah.
Now my case is with that amount of $50 is the same feed, the same human resources, the same pen that they will sleep in that you're gonna give, right? So if you start that, how do you increase that amount from $50 now to $100 to $200?
200.
Right. So if you look at my farm, I have 3 types of goats.
Okay.
So more than 3, but I'll put a group in one. So number 1, I have the local dwarf. Then I have the West African dwarf. Those are the small one, the $50 one.
Which one are the local dwarfs?
So they are the small ones that you see roaming around the street.
Okay.
So they are called the West African dwarfs.
Okay. Is it the same as the local dwarf?
Yes, it's the same.
It's the same. Okay. All right.
The name is West African dwarf. And so those are $50. But if you go into my pen, you will see also the Sahelian goats.
The Sahelian goat.
Which also came from Mali, Niger, right? So from the Sahelian desert.
Okay.
That's where they are bred. Okay. And then there's the third batch of goats that I have here is the South African goats.
The South African goats.
So they are called Boa goats, Kalahari, Savannah goats.
Boa, Kalahari.
Kalahari. Then Savannah.
And Savannah.
Yeah, I don't think you saw them, but they are inside there that you can see. Those are big, right? So an average weight of the one I have there is about 60 kg.
Really?
Right. The local dwarf averagely are weighing about 9 kg.
Is it because of their feed?
Feed, inbreeding, type of goats. Those goats naturally do not get very big. But due to inbreeding and of course feeding has also limited that. They can go maybe up to maybe 15. But
does the environment really affect their growth?
No, not really. Not really the environment. I think feed, care, inbreeding is what all these goats that you see on the streets, who is managing how they are breeding. So my point is value addition, and I want to be able to make that very clear. So you have 3 types of goat. The South African goat is costing me about $1,500 for one.
The South African goat?
Yes.
For one?
Yes.
Hey!
Yes. The Sahelian goat is costing about 2,000 cedis for one. The local dwarf goat is costing me about, let's say, 600, which is about $50 for one. So now I have these 3 goats. Right? You see the price difference? Huge. So now locally, not everybody can afford $1,500 goat. Right? Then you have your 2,000, and you have your $50, which is about 500. So the gap here is not as big as the gap between South African and this. So now how did this goat get to that point?
The $1,500?
Yes, it's because of the size, the weight. Because if you're comparing, I had a goat here which was about 120 kg. That's somebody's cow. So if you're buying that goat for meat, and you're buying a goat that weighs 9 kg, so how do we bring this goat to this weight? So what I'm doing with the 3 is the Sahelian goats have the height, the Boa has the weight. The weight, and our local dwarfs are there. So now I'm crossbreeding the Sahelian to the local goats to get the height, and then the Boa to get the weight.
To get a weight,
Right, so then I can buy a goat for $50, and in 3 years, turn that goat into at least $1,000 goat.
Really?
Yes. Right. So, so there's a lot of...
This is a smart move. Oh, really? Yeah, it's a very smart move.
Yes.
It's a very smart move.
Because it's there. I will show you some local dwarf that have already been crossed by Sahelian, and you could see that their height is already... Well, the moment you see that goat, you know that's not a local goat. But it's just 2,000 with $50. And now I've gotten the height. What I need is now the weight. The weight, So now I give a foreign goat, which is the South African goat, to that goat.
And do they mate easily?
Yes, but the South African straight to the local goat will die. Because, I mean, you will see them, but if you look at their heights and this one, they can't cross them. So that's why you need to raise them, before that happens. Right. So, these are basically words that you know, our institutions needs to do for us to be able to add value, so that if somebody's going into goat farm, he can sell his goat at a good price.
Exactly.
Because if I'm doing goat and I'm going to sell it at $50, how many goats am I going to sell to actually be...
Get, let's say, $1,000.
Yeah, or be sustainable to take care of my family.
It's true.
I need to add value to that goat to be able to sell that goat at least $500 and above. And you might ask, even, is there market? Yes, there's market. Like this South African goat, last year we actually brought about over 250 of these goats to Ghana. So people understand the value. People want good quality goat. But now if you even want to go and buy goat for breeding, which farm do you go that can say this is a breeding goat?
That is another problem.
And this is a goat to the table.
Yeah.
Right? So there's a lot of potential. A lot of things for us to do. It's a matter of, you know, yeah.
You know, I'm even shocked. Yeah, seriously, I'm shocked. Yeah. You know, this wonderful man has a future. You understand? It's better we all tap into it. Is there anything you can tell the government? Like any support, you know, farmers need? I don't know if you are okay, but even I can even see, even within the oceans, there are still rains that fall within. So, you know, even if you have, you can just still, you know, because I think there are a lot the government has to do.
Yeah.
And this kind of channels must you know, push pressure on the government, you know, for them to at least know that, you know, to every healthy economy, you know, that's farmers.
Yeah. I think the is so what I'm trying to do here, right, is for me is still to prove a concept. A concept that will work, that we can also take and replicate. I remember in 2018 the government did planting for food and job, also did railing for food and job. It's an amazing idea, right? It's a great agenda, but then majority of it didn't succeed. There was an article recently about how the people use the sheep that was given to them for lice soup. Right? But this is a government initiative saying I'm also bringing livestock to household so that you guys can multiply and get the 6. Out of the 6, I will come and pick 2 and give to another family, right? But then we also consume it. But the problem there is also, yes, the people is a problem, but also what infrastructure, what support were we giving to these people? What kind of training did these people get to be able to raise those livestock properly? Right? So the government always can do more. The government can always do, but so who is the government? You say the president, the minister, but they also have a lot of bookworm people.
Cabinets,
who are. I was on the plane coming here today. No, on Friday. And there was a man sitting on my back, and he was talking about how he's writing a proposal, and he's talking about 250 pages to University of Legon, and he's showing them what is missing in the soil if they plant and so on and so forth. And he was talking very boldly. So I turned, and it was an elderly man. So I asked, "Sir, are you in the agric industry?" He says, no. I've done a lot of research, and I'm writing this proposal to them. And so I started having a conversation with him. And I was like, don't you think we the youth, we are tired of the proposals? Like, why don't you buy one plot and you test what you're saying? And let me come and see the size of your cassava, the size of your plantain. And then say what you're writing about is right. You don't even have a land to do the proposals is too much.
It's just book.
That's what sometimes kills the government. So we have a lot of people out there who are bookworm and writing the proposals for the government to secure the funds. But on practicals, there's so many things that is missing. Because when we have the money, you don't really think very smartly. You just do anything. What I'm doing here is coming from my own pocket. So every step of the way, as I said, I'm experimenting, I'm testing. Before I actually break through.
You just don't invest.
You understand? But when the government comes and just give money, then we don't really.
You know, the hungry man thinks well.
Of course.
So that one there.
You know, so.
You know, Mr. Fred, we'll just leave it. We've had a very wonderful conversation with Mr. Fred. You know, I can't talk much. You know, mostly when the interview is getting inside me, you know, I don't really talk much. I'm just consuming. In fact, I'm also learning, you understand? So, you know, to sign out, I want you to, you know, leave a message to the youth. You understand? it's time they have to, I'm not saying they should leave the offices, but at least they must leverage on everything they see in the environment. Farming is also one, you understand? And, switching more focus on the government is also too. I think it's time the youth should also leave their comfort zones and do something better for themselves. And agric is one. So can you tell the youth that they have so many spaces? Your farm can't feed Ghana alone.
No.
Not even.
I'm actually not trying to feed Ghana.
I understand. So you just try to use this opportunity to leverage an information to all the youth and let them know that it's possible. You can start somewhere. You understand? So they shouldn't, people finish school and all they have is, just want to kill themselves. Why? Because they are very frustrated in the environment and in the community. So you can just tell them this is something, at least start a little if you have to.
Okay, it's possible. I think, most of the youth, when they think about agriculture, they wanna do it big. So my simple advice is start small. It's okay to dream big, but start small. You came here, you feel impressed, but if I tell you how I feel right now, I feel like I'm not going forward. Like where my vision of where I want to take this farm is not even close, right? But I've started from somewhere, and every day I add a step to it. Every day I add something. So 2 goats, you watching me can afford 2 goats, right? Goats. Start with it. You see that at the end of the year, don't even just do what you're doing and just have these 2 goats and just feed them gradually. At the end of the year, you realize that you've multiplied. Then you ask yourself, if I had put 2,000, if I had put 5,000, what would that have been for me? And then gradually you can build on that. I think there is potential. People will always eat. Lockdown, COVID told us, farmers are always going to have the freedom to move and still do their work. So my advice is, if farming is something you want to do, it takes a lot of passion for you to do it. So make sure that this is what you want to do. And if this is what you want to do, don't let the capital scare you, because capital is going to be the least of your problem. Right? Start learning, start researching, and start something on your own. And I believe
it's very necessary.
You're going to learn a lot.
Exactly.
And I always say this. Whenever the student is ready, the master will appear.
Whenever the student is ready,
the master will
definitely appear.
Yes. Sometimes we think it's because we don't have money. But ask yourself, what have you actually done that if I come right now and I give you money, you'll be able to execute? So start with what you can do. How much research do you know about if goat farming is what you want to do? How much research have you done? Your family has a land. What have you done on that land? How prepared are you? So that when you're ready, the time that you need money to go and buy your stock, I promise you that master will appear.
It's just like a quote in the Bible that God helps those who help themselves. So it's just starting for somebody to hold you up and push you. You understand? In Akan, there is this idea they have that they are fruit their piano, then piano. So if you are ready to do something, come on. Once the student is what?
It's ready.
It's ready. The master will definitely appear. Let me conclude with this. You do this, you produce this. How do you market it yourself? Do you have any team that helps you with the marketing? How do you get it ready to the final consumers and even those who wants to buy it for their own personal uses?
So most people do not believe this when I tell them, but I said it and I know you laugh, but I'm not trying to feed the consumer. I'm not trying to sell yet as meat. I think what I'm doing here is fully experimental.
Really?
Yes. So I want to create a model that when you come here and you're inspired, you can just take that model and go and put it on your farm and it will work. When you come here and you say you want to start goat farm, I can point to you, take this male, take this 2 female, build your pen this way, because you can see how I've built my pen. This is the list of feed you will need. This is the list of medication. Take it and then go and do it.
Wow.
I can't feed it. If I decide to feed Ghana, but I can raise more farmers to do things the right way and get profit from it. And if that happens, then we're going to scale faster. So I'm just experimenting. I've not even dreamed about processing meat and selling.
But is it paying off?
So it is paying off in different ways. It's paying off
in kind
today.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
paying
yeah.
off because it's financially no, because as I said, I'm not even close to where I need to be. Right? People come here from Nigeria, from Sierra Leone, they want to buy goats. I'm like, I haven't gotten to the point where I will trust the goat that I'll give to you and think that you're gonna see. You know, about 95% of the animals we are currently buying from the market are sick.
Seriously?
Yes. They are sick because a farmer only brings their animal when he's treated and knows it's not getting better, or he has something that he doesn't want.
That he thinks is going to die any moment from now.
We don't have enough to be able to say, okay, I've gotten to a point, this is going to the table, this is breeding. We don't. So if you have 5 goats roaming around in your house, and one is, would you want to sell them? No. You're critically in need of money. Otherwise, it's only when you know the goat is not going to give you the results. So we have a problem. And to me, I can't do that. So, no selling. I need to crack it first. I need to be able to develop a model that's worked, that other people can, so we can grow enough to be able to really take it to the table. Otherwise, just the demand for other farmers is even way higher than the food. Yes.
All right.
It's okay. I thought we were ending it. So
I end here, Charlie. So, without wasting much time, Charlie, subscribe to the channel, you understand, and follow Mr. Fred on Farming in Africa, right?
Farming in Africa.
He has a lot of episodes there that, you know, if you want to get into whether cattle or sheep, you know, you will learn a lot from that channel. I've been following him personally, so all my viewers, you can just hit on his subscription button, just push him ahead, you understand. Let's help Africa and Ghana as well. You know, we are capable to feed ourselves. That's one thing I always say, you understand. Let's help ourselves. Let's help ourselves. You know, those in Sierra Leone, Cote d'Ivoire, wherever you are watching us from, you know, quickly contact Mr. Fred. I'm going to put his number at the description, you know, button, so that you try to get in touch, you understand. Support the dream, you understand. Let's support the dream. He's not even up to 1% of what he's doing. Looking at this wonderful man. So let's try our possible best and support the dream, you understand. And I think it will definitely pay off. Let's start thinking British. Let's start thinking white. Let's eradicate those kind of mentalities we had previously. You understand? I love you all and I respect you all. Shalom. Peace. Bye.